All right.
All right, then.
Oh my God, Paul. The other night I woke up from a dream, remembering a very traumatic event from my childhood in which a horse died.
Oh my God!
You ever seen
A horse?
A Neverending Story?
I was gonna say that reminds me of that awful scene
Oh my
in
God.
that children's movie, A Neverending Story. Yeah.
Dave, you've seen that, right?
I have seen that.
Yeah. Zan?
No, never.
Wait, what?
What? You've never
No.
seen A Neverending Story?
No.
Never
Abe, you've
ever?
seen it, right?
I've seen it, yeah. Traumatic as hell.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's been
Really?
a long time, but I remember being freaked out a lot. Being
Oh
very
my God.
scared.
We gotta watch
It's
this
just
right
one
now.
of those things you have to experience, I think.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Let's go watch it, guys.
Let's go.
All right.
Intervention. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
What a movie.
Welcome to Pop Culture Intervention. This is the movie podcast where we introduce our movie virgin friends, the things they definitely should have seen. And tonight in the studio, I'm here, Willa, and we are joined by our friends Zan and Dave. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for letting me watch a movie I've never seen.
Thanks for having
So
us.
glad to have you. Also in the studio,
Hi, guys. I'm back.
it's Paul.
Paul, thanks for
Movie
being
Paul.
back.
Yes. Thanks for having me back.
Charlie is too good for us, so he's not here tonight. He's at a wedding.
He's getting married.
He's married now. We were none of us invited to the
Nope.
wedding.
So instead, we watched a very traumatic movie.
So yeah, we just watched A Never-Ending Story. So, Zan, what the fuck? Why haven't you seen this?
Yeah, I thought everyone had seen this movie.
No. I also haven't seen many movies, so I feel like this was just one of the
many?
One of the many.
Yeah.
But after watching it, I feel like maybe I know why I didn't see it because it would have freaked me out as a child.
What?
Yeah. It's very, I don't know, heavy and
It
just
kind of
existential and dark.
kind of freaks me out as an adult.
Exactly, yeah. Like, this was a kid's movie. I had to keep reminding myself that throughout rewatching it. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of stuff went over my head as a kid. I was just interested in the, fantasy aspect of it.
Was there anything about this that you did recognize? Like from memes or pop culture references? Nothing?
No, I was expecting to, actually.
Really?
Yeah. We watched...
I take it you're not a fan of the band Atreyu?
Is that real?
The metal band
Life
Atreyu? Yeah.
Nope, yes, I've never heard of that before.
Me neither. So.
Yeah, no. We watched Monty Python for me for the first time ever, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail?
Yeah,
Holy Grail.
and every single thing that they would say, I was like, that's where this came from?
Right.
So I had high hopes for this movie, but no.
Not even Falcor?
No.
I feel like Falcor is like the one thing people tend to, recognize.
Well, how
We'll
do
have to check
people
in with you
use
in a
it?
month and see, like,
Maybe.
what,
Yeah.
because I feel like I
What's
do
stuck?
often see a gif of Falcor with Bastion on top of it, like
Doing the
riding
hand
this,
raise.
this hand
Yeah.
in the air.
Maybe
right? That's
I
a thing.
have dismissed it this whole time.
Yeah,
We'll
but
have to
I
check in
feel like
with
there are a
you.
lot of references to riding a flying dragon dog.
People talk about it all the time. Say my name.
Well, let's get into it. What did you think?
I don't
First
even know where to
impressions.
start. Well, I thought it was good in many ways. I thought that it was terrifying, a little sad. So really, the full range of emotions in that entire movie.
Effective.
Was it inspirational at all?
Can't say it was.
No?
Not even the song.
I mean, maybe the song was, and then I can't get past the ending, which I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that. I can wait.
Let's actually before we
But I
get
don't
too
like
into it, let's start with a quiz. See if
Yeah,
you're
let's see
paying
how.
attention.
Yeah. Let's see what
So,
you retained in
retention
our retention intervention.
Retention intervention. Retention intervention.
So I do have
I'm so nervous. By
some
the way.
quiz questions. Did
I got
you
a
pick
couple.
some?
I got a
okay,
couple.
great. So we'll
Yeah, what's my role in this? Can she phone a friend?
I guess if she doesn't know it, you can chime in. We'll
Okay.
give you
Yeah.
a second option.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's your lifeline.
Okay, I'll try to go in
You're
order.
her lifeline.
A little bit in order, at least. Here we go.
Potato, tomato.
In the opening scene, what does Dad have for breakfast?
Oh my god, I wrote that down because I wrote, this is my first note. Orange juice and an egg equals Dad's breakfast, ? Not a fan.
A raw egg. He puts orange juice and a raw
Not
egg
a fan.
in a blender.
Yeah.
Was there
OJ.
another movie? Was it Rocky that did that
Rocky
also?
just drinks raw eggs without blending
Yeah.
them. Just like...
What was up with the 80s and people just drinking raw eggs?
It's healthy, I guess. But the OJ and raw egg shake, that ruined the first part for me.
Yeah.
It made
No,
me
it's really-
dislike the dad immediately. I
Yeah.
didn't trust him.
Oh man, that guy was awful.
Well, yeah. We could get more into
Well,
it.
I will get-
I will say he had one scene to get over the fact that he's a pain in the ass to live with, and he nailed it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, screw this guy.
He never comes back.
Good riddance.
Okay, so in the beginning, the bullies are chasing Bastion.
Right.
Which of these names do they not call him?
Okay.
A, chicken. B, loser. C, jerk. D, weirdo.
Oh my god, this one's hard. I feel like jerk.
No, they did call him
They
jerk.
did?
Yeah.
I feel like they called them all of these names, but
I don't think they said loser.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
it was loser.
oh.
Yeah. And I only know that because the subtitles were on.
It would have fit well.
I wouldn't have picked such a hard question.
Those bully kids were really good bullies too. Like
Terrible.
they were the worst kids ever. I
I
felt
mean,
really
pretty
bad
bad.
for
Yeah.
Bastion, but
Well, and then they waited. He like got back out of the trash can, and then
Yeah.
they were like, "Shh, get
that's
back in.
That's hardcore bullying. They're like waiting. They're like, nah, our shift isn't over yet. We gotta wait to see if he comes out of the dumpster and tell him to go back in.
I feel like normally you stuff a child or like a classmate in a dumpster, you get out of there.
That's what Zan did.
Yeah. Bully Zan.
Okay, what was the name of the bookstore that Bastion hides in and picks up the book?
That was hard. He said it really fast. I don't know this one at all.
I don't remember.
Oh,
You know, Dave?
corianders.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, corianders with a K and an E.
Ah.
Did you write that down?
No,
How'd you know it?
it's the same as the spice. Herb?
Oh my
Spice.
god.
Cooking additive.
Okay, here's an easy one. What is the name of the imaginary land in the book? Zan is freaking out because there's a cat near her. She can't handle it.
Very
She's
near.
not allergic, she's just afraid of a kitten.
A little bit.
He's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Fantasia.
Yeah.
There we go. Do you have one, Paul, you want to throw in?
How many books does Bastion have?
Oh, I wrote it down. Because again, 168 books. Question, who counts?
Seriously. The guy
I
knows
was-
to the like, nah, I got about 200. No, he knows exactly.
Yeah.
And then he
How
starts
many
listing them all, and the guy's like, okay, you can stop. we get it.
We get it. You're a nerd. You have no friends.
You're a
But that just
chicken jerk
attests-
weirdo.
But not a loser.
Well, that's debatable.
But that attests to how much he loves books. He knows exactly how many he
That's
has.
That's true.
Yeah.
Book
point.
fiend.
Good point.
That book owner, he spotted a good fellow nerd, I guess.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions about him. But
Same.
we'll save that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will get a chance to ask questions.
What is Morla the Wise, or whatever her name is? What is she allergic to?
She's allergic to. Oh, why am I forgetting what his name is? Aristu. How do you say it?
Wow, that was
Harris
a gimme
too.
on the name of the main character.
Yeah, wow. Could I have
Not the
that?
right answer, though.
What is the main
What's the
character's
name?
I'm gonna write
What
that
is,
down.
no, but what is she allergic to?
To him.
Kind of. No,
That's what she
It's
said.
a certain aspect about him.
that's not what she says.
She's
Dave?
allergic to.
Youth.
Yeah.
Oh,
You maybe thought she said you.
I did.
Yeah. I think I thought
Subtitles.
that
I
as
mean-
a kid, too. We watched with subtitles on.
Yeah.
I think I thought as a kid that she said you. I don't think
I
I got
see.
that it was youth. Again, that one went over
I
my
think-
head as a
Yeah.
kid.
I agree. That was the first
And
time.
she was just like over life completely.
Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Not that it matters.
Not that
I think I
matters.
missed up this reading the subtitles because I wrote down a lot of her quotes.
Yeah.
We don't even care whether or not we care. That's what I was busy writing.
Pretty dark stuff.
So dark.
I only have one more question. Do you have any more, Paul?
I got one more. Back to breakfast.
Back to basics.
Back to that breakfast scene. He was Bastion was trying to open a jar. Do you remember what the jar was?
I'm looking at you, Dave.
Lifeline. Do you
It was
remember?
it was jelly, right? Wasn't he making a peanut butter jelly and he couldn't open it?
Was it the peanut butter or the jelly?
I think it was a jelly.
Yeah.
Yep.
We will accept jelly.
Yeah, he
I
was
was
eating
too
white.
focused on the block of butter.
The giant block of butter.
He
Yeah.
was eating white Wonder Bread with butter. Some dad there. And then this, I don't know if you would have ever caught it, but
Probably not.
what name does Bastion give the Empress?
I'm glad you asked this question.
I couldn't hear it, and the subtitles were off by that point,
Yes.
so I have no idea.
We had a technical difficulty.
Yeah, and this is like something that's still discussed. Like no one really knows for sure, although the consensus is that he says Moonchild.
Yes.
Like in most descriptions, he says Moonchild, which does that mean his mom's name was
That's
Moonchild?
really
Right?
Is it supposed to be after his mother?
Strongly suggested that it was going to be his
Yeah.
mother's name.
Because he's like, oh, my mom had a beautiful name.
Child, mom.
Which
Maybe it was
it's
just
like
Moon.
totally weird that
Yeah.
the total straight workaholic dad married someone named Moonchild. Like opposite attract type thing going on there or something.
I like the reading that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Because we luckily lost the
Exactly.
subtitles in time. I think
I
it's a
kinda like
good
that.
interpretation.
Yeah.
But
Now
that,
it's unknowable.
We're
wonder-
matching up a lot of the
Yeah.
time. Though.
Yeah, there were some
So-
discrepancies.
So I'm
Yeah.
Well, at
curious,
one
like,
point-
what would it have even
It
said?
literally,
well-
like there was times where like the subtitles were just not quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a missing word, but wasn't there a time at the beginning where he said, "I know books," and it said "no boop boop"?
Yes! Yeah, I even said that. I'm like, no boop boop.
I was like, somebody is terrible at their job.
I'm so glad I missed that in the moment.
I know books. No boop
No
boop.
boop boop.
boop,
No
boop.
boop boop.
Oh, good.
I like that better.
Oh lordy! But yes, we did try to watch most of it with subtitles, but then we had some technical difficulties and didn't get them back on for the last 17 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Now I kind of want to go back and see what Voodoo did for the subtitle.
Yeah.
For the
Especially
mom's
if it's
name.
Moonchild.
amazing.
Moonchild.
If they said Moonchild or
Yeah.
unintelligible. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's
They just
supposed
drop
to be
out.
unintelligible.
Maybe Paul will be good enough to update us on the next episode.
Maybe.
I'll check it out. I'll go home and watch it again.
All of it.
Okay,
The whole thing.
if that's going to be the end of our quiz, I did want to jump in with just our childhood experiences with this movie because
Oh,
I
sure.
watched this a lot.
Really?
And yeah, and I kind of forgot about a lot of it until I rewatched it, but there were moments that just like were very memorable and distinct to me, like the Rock Monster and
Definitely.
Falcor. It was nice to be surprised by some of the other like animations. Oh, the giant turtle, Morla. Yeah, that was very memorable to me. But some of the little characters like the racing snail,
Yeah. Snail, yeah.
and the night hob, which I took note of his name in the subtitles.
Do you know
Good
the
baby name.
the guy
Nighthawk.
the guy that rode the snail? His name? Oh. Bonus question. Anybody?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I didn't write it
I
down.
don't even know if they said it. I had to look it up. Teeny weeny.
I saw that in the credits.
Yeah,
and I was
and,
wondering who it was.
He was
Nice.
played by Deep Roy. Anyone know who Deep Roy is? He's
Definitely in.
he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely recognize him from Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Oompa
the
Loompa.
remake.
Yeah.
Remake.
He's also in the reiteration of the Star Trek movies, the Chris Pine Star Trek movies. He plays the little like alien thing that befriends Simon Pegg.
Nice.
Oh.
But yeah, he's actually a very successful actor.
And he's got a racing snail.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I think I watched it some, not as much as it sounds like Abe did. I definitely remember Falcor and the Sphinx part. The part where Artax dies, which is the horse,
Yeah.
very early
God.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not even a third of the way through. I think I blacked that out.
I think I did too.
I watched this
cry.
movie a few years ago and was like, what? Like, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I definitely, like, when I rewatch it older, I remember going, oh my God! Like, how did I watch this as a kid and not get totally, traumatized
You
by
did.
it?
I think we
I
all
think we
blacked
did
it out.
so bad that we're just like, no, it never happened.
Hey,
I didn't watch a horse slowly drown.
from depression.
Yeah. A sad horse drowning in mud.
But I feel like
Sadness mud.
there were loopholes in that storyline, though. That
Okay.
if
Atreyu.
Atreyu was
Thank you.
really sad about the loss of his horse, why then was he able
He
to
didn't
get
let
out
it
of the swamp?
overcome him. He was
Right.
still
Yeah.
driven by his mission.
And he was sinking when Falcor came and saved him. He
Yeah.
was like
That's
going
true.
down. So
Yeah, he let
It was
Orla,
all- yeah.
the old lady who had no hope, just do him.
Yeah, just a total bummer.
I think it was just another trial for him. It just proved that he was strong enough to, even after the death of Artax, that he could still
Right.
overcome
Yeah.
the sadness.
But after that, like, no more feelings of sadness for Artax. I don't think it comes up again.
Yeah.
He's sort of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, well, that's over.
Until
Like,
the
He yells
cave
it.
paintings at the very end, and he's like, "Oh, Artax."
Yeah.
And then there's a depiction of him dying again. It's like, do we need to be reminded visually?
And
He
then
does
they-
yell it at the Empress too. Oh, my fucking horse died!
You knew it all.
What the hell, lady?
They bring him back at the end, though. I think that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
kind of wipes
Yeah.
the slate clean.
Luckily-
You do
Yeah.
forget.
and that's the scene, like the one scene that I have a vivid memory of is Bastion riding Falcor and like Artax
just
and
the very end,
Atreyu,
the
like
triumphant
riding through.
moment.
Yeah, very triumphant.
Yeah.
The rest of it is a very blacked out, repressed memory. It's like only once Fantasia is restored do
I
I have
also
memories of this
Always think about when he eats the apple core.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
For some reason.
Because
It
the
bugged me so much
sound
as a kid.
effect of it.
I
was-
don't know.
That's good filmmaking.
I didn't even
Yeah.
see that this time around.
I have
Eats
kind of
the
a
entire
note.
apple, including the core.
I have a note on
Core?
that.
I didn't see that.
He was an aggressive apple eater. He like attacked that apple. and then
Dave's
ate
last note, I'm sorry, Dave's last note is best part when the kid bites his apple.
It was so emphatic.
It was like really
Yeah.
he loves apple. Oh, I really liked it.
The only other part that really brought emotions back for me were the rock monster, the rock biter, was talking about his strong hands and like how he couldn't hold on to his friends.
And then he just gave up.
And then he was like, well, I guess I'll just let the nothing come and take me.
Did that like
dark.
you have strong
Yeah.
hands? Did that like hit home
Yeah,
for you?
it kinda
Like
did,
you're
more so
looking
as an
up-
adult now that I like can relate.
We were literally talking about his hands this morning because
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, Jesus, your hands are so meaty.
yeah.
And I was like comparing my hand. Like, he gets this very big muscle in between his thumb and pointer finger, and I'm always like, God, what is that? So just this morning, laying in bed, we were talking about Abe's meaty fucking hands.
Well, and right now, Larry, we've been laughing about it tonight, but has a condition where he needs some help.
Stupid dog.
We'll keep it simple, but he has a help me up harness with a handle on it.
It's got a suitcase handle.
Yeah, like a suitcase handle.
We're not laughing.
So between Artax
laughing.
and Falcor and the Rock Monster, I was thinking about me and Larry and how much he needs my help. So it just was extra deep for an adult rewatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And
Okay.
you can hear Larry panting.
Yeah, you might hear him.
But in a way, you're his Falcor.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Just flip it, and it's
I'm
nice.
his Luckdragon.
So this is basically Jumanji meets Princess Bride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good analogy.
I thought Legend. Do you guys know the movie Legend?
Is that the Will
Never
Smith
seen
movie?
that.
No, it's
That's I Am Legend.
it actually comes out a year after this, and it's a Ridley Scott movie with Tom Cruise, so it has some cachet. It actually has Tim Curry playing like the main villain, which is like basically the devil. He looks like, if you've ever seen the devil on South Park, who's just like the all red with the hooves and stuff. It's basically that, but it's like pretty well done practical makeup. Tim Curry, before he was Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Oh, God.
He putting on a pretty good performance. But there's the death of a unicorn that kind of like triggers the movie.
Oh.
And then it follows Tom Cruise, who's this very Atreyu-looking, like, teenage
Mowgli.
boy. A little bit, yeah, he's a little bit older than Atreyu is in this movie, but generally, this is a better version of that.
So don't bother with Legend.
I was surprised when I looked it up that this was 3 years before A Princess Bride, because it almost seems like this would be a takeoff on that. But it's
Well,
the
no,
other
I
way around.
think there's a bunch of elements in The Princess Bride that are jokes on this, which makes more sense because that's a spoof version, right? Like the old couple.
Yeah, Miracle Max.
What Miracle Max and his wife. I felt like that was a very obvious, just like
Homage or
absolutely, just kind of like a little.
I thought
spoof
so
on that.
too. Like it's so similar to Princess Bride. You know that it couldn't be by accident. That's fine.
Yeah, that was great.
Was there, in The Princess Bride, was there like an animal that gets stuck in quicksand?
They get
there's-
stuck in quicksand. Yeah,
They get stuck in
Yeah.
quicksand.
Yeah.
In fact, they sink all the way in, and he
Somehow.
pulls them out from a vine or something.
He overcomes the sadness.
Yep. It's not quite on the nose like that, but yeah. And I was reminded of the rats of unusual size when the wolf came out and attacked him.
Oh, yeah. Gmork.
Gamork.
Mork.
The
Speaking
Deadly Swamps of Sadness. I like the names of all the places.
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Gamork, apparently the actor who played Atreyu, like, almost got his eye poked out by the robot
puppet.
dog.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
It looks
when
like they
lunged
shoot
at
it
him.
out of a cannon.
Yeah, like on set. Okay, there's two very traumatic things that happened to this poor actor. One, he almost lost an eye during the fight scene versus Gamork.
The fight scene.
That I guess it was a fight.
He has a knife.
He basically just lunges at him. He hits him with a rock.
I also
and that's
love
the
his
end.
line before that where he's like, if we're going to both die, I'd rather we die fighting.
Right.
What is happening?
I am a warrior.
But apparently he was also, during the scene with the horse drowning, there's like an elevator under the water and mud. He gets stuck under it, and his leg got caught in the elevator. He's pulled underwater and was unconscious.
What?
Whoa.
Had to be brought to the surface and
Wow.
like
So
given
some of
CPR.
that wasn't acting.
Oh my gosh.
The horse wasn't acting either. He was terrified.
That's crazy.
Anyway, it was also produced in Germany.
There
Yeah.
were. I actually, when we were looking at the credits, I was like, there are so many German names on
This
these
was-
credits. What is happening?
This was
That
a
makes sense.
mostly German production. In fact, at the time, it was the most expensive movie ever made outside of the U.S.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, all those really, complicated graphics.
Oh my god.
It
Well,
explains
those are
the
practical effects. I mean, they're not cheap. You know,
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
pretty
A
elaborate.
lot of puppets,
too.
really
Yeah.
cool puppetry.
Yeah.
it explains the expressionistic design.
Yes, it does.
Very nice.
And the dark themes. I feel like it's very German. thing.
All right now.
Your horse is gonna die.
1980s Germany.
And the
with
Nazi
it.
kind of undertones. The nothing was really bearing down on the whole world.
So wait, so it was made in Germany. Did they not have like actor safety standards then?
Probably.
'Cause
Yeah.
it sounds like this was a terrible movie to act in.
Yeah. Well, he was screaming every single line.
It's like we can't make that here. Send it to Germany.
You got all the Oktoberfest beers and you didn't even know it was a German movie.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's
there was a
right.
theme for our drinks this evening.
Okay, I have a question about the bookshop owner. So
Yes, let's
So
talk about him.
all right, so Bastion
Please.
enters, and the guy starts talking to him, knows it's a kid already.
I don't like kids.
I don't like kids.
Get
and
out.
then it takes a while. Bastion has to walk down a hall, enter a room, and then the guy has to bend around his chair to see the kid.
Yeah.
How did he know?
No. Yeah, I was wondering the
How
same
magical
thing,
is this
you
guy?
know? Yeah.
Magical or creepy?
Yeah,
is
sounds
what
like
I
a
was
guy who
going
actually
for.
likes kids.
And he was
That's
reading
another
the book
wrinkle.
that at the end it's like, obviously a child should be reading this.
Right.
And he was the one reading it to begin with.
Right.
you
He also
know?
very not realistically hides it under the newspaper. And at first I thought that he had actually attempted to hide it. And I was like, in my notes, well, that's dumb. But then obviously it was.
Well, he had been
wanted him to
if he had
take
been
it.
reading the book, he maybe knew that the nothing could only be defeated by a human child. And
That's
kids
fair.
are most drawn to you when you're like, I hate kids, get out.
What if he paid the bully kids to chase him around
Yeah.
until he ended up in
Oh.
the bookstore?
Yeah,
I
because
like
the
it.
bullies were really not in it for the money, I don't think. They were in it purely for bullying.
They had
It's your cash.
I thought the clerk was underused. I'm glad you guys gave him a backstory beyond what we actually saw in the movie. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I don't know if we
Yeah.
ever got his full name in the movie, but I have it right here. Carl Conrad Coriander. So there's your coriander
Oh.
for the name of the store.
Carl Conrad?
Carl Conrad Coriander, all C's.
Okay.
And
I was about to ask that, actually.
and there's a similar alliteration with Bastion's full name. His full name is Bastion Balthazar Bucks.
Bucks?
Wow.
B-U-X. Bucks.
Nice.
What?
Bastion Balthazar
And this is all
Bucks.
in the book, presumably, the names
Yeah,
of the
I'm getting
characters?
all this from the Wikipedia.
So this is a book.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how, I've never read it. Anyone read it?
Never.
No.
I did not know they
I
made a
think
book
it's
out of
quite
it.
different. I was looking at the I was looking at the character list from the book, and there was a lot of people that aren't in
Didn't
the
make the
movie.
cut.
So I don't know how close it is. If anyone out there would like to inform us of some of the differences between the book and the movie, please shout us out on Facebook or Twitter. Love to hear from
Yeah.
you.
Oh, well, I just learned a little something. So
Oh, the internet!
the
Don't bother, fans.
the writer of the book was not happy with the way they wrote
Oh.
the movie and actually sued the production company to try to get them to change the name or change the script.
What?
He lost, and obviously they kept the name.
That's so sad for him. He wrote this book first.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it sucks. You can't use that title. Yeah, they can.
Guess so.
It must have been a really good book because I thought
Big
this was
German
a pretty
Hollywood.
good movie.
Right?
I
I'm
thought
actually
the-
also surprised this hasn't been remade. Like, I wonder if the original writer's like, no. Like, I already didn't like the first one. You're not getting another shot at this.
They
I-
should remake this.
I wanted
know.
to give this movie credit for doing the fourth wall break within the fourth wall break before Deadpool ever even thought about it.
I was reminded of the movie Adaptation. Like, when he
Yeah.
writes himself into his own story. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like that. I wonder if that's where he got it from.
I won't say this is the first, but it was probably the first one I ever saw and
Yeah.
never thought about
Never-
it
yeah,
until
me
now.
either. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
He spoke to himself or not so many times.
Yeah. I would say
So many.
Bastion?
Yes.
Might be the
That was
biggest
the
flaw
thing.
of the whole movie.
No, absolutely. I was actually like during the fantasy scenes, you can kind of just like ignore the cheesy graphics and stuff because it's like it's fantasy.
Yeah.
But then every time they would break back to him saying something in
Something
reaction
dumb,
to the
too.
book.
This can't be real.
I know.
I was so taken out of it, and I would snicker, and it was just like. silly.
Could have just cut all his lines and just make sure we know he's still reading the book. It's fine. That's all we need to know.
Just keep his facial
We don't.
expression.
We don't need to know what he's eating or
Also-
how much,
also,
how fast.
when
That's
he
what I'm
takes-
giggling about.
When he takes a bite, I thought of you. When he takes a bite of that sandwich and he's like, too much, have to save it for later. My first thought was like, if Dave was in the attic, that sandwich would have been gone so fast. He would have been hungry for like ever.
Oh, yeah. I would have eaten the whole thing.
You would have left, gone to get more food.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In my school attic.
Yeah, okay,
Who
so
has an attic like
yeah, the
that?
attic was totally
Absolutely.
weird, and we talked about our experience watching it as a kid. I think when I watched it as a kid, I never fully realized that he was still in the school. Like, I think I had assumed he had gone to some other abandoned building or something, because the attic was like dusty. It had weird, like, old taxidermy
Yeah.
dolls and like cobwebs everywhere and just hanging chains. And
Okay.
what? And he had a key for the door. Like he goes there often, and I guess other people can get into this place, but no one seems to care that it's just a dirty attic that
They
kids
turned
can readily
all
get
the
into.
lights off in the rest of the school, but somehow the attic was still like daylit far longer. And then when it did get dark, he just had candles and
Yep.
matches. Like, what?
He probably spends a lot of time up there, is what it sounds like.
He should have fixed it up a little bit,
Yeah.
It's his reading spot where he reads his 186 books.
Can't do it at home. He's got to keep his feet on the ground.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Drink his
Again.
OJ and eggs.
Painting a dark picture. This boy's life.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I do wish, like, the dad circled back
Or came to find him.
or came to find him.
Like, so he stayed out the whole night in a thunderstorm as a child, and no one was looking for him?
Not even the school. Like, he
Like-
didn't show up to class, so according to the school, he's missing.
On math test day, too.
He missed a math test.
I know. But he wouldn't have done well anyway. He was drawing unicorns
yeah,
in his
he's drawing
math
unicorns in
book.
his math
So, which I thought was going to be his first wish. Like, I wish there would be unicorns.
the dad has
No.
really never heard of what a unicorn is.
Obviously.
You were drawing
Horses.
horses. It's a unicorn. What? And he just, like, rolls his eyes. Never heard of it.
Oh, come on, Dad.
You married a woman named Moonchild. You know what a unicorn is.
Oh, man.
Poor kid.
I loved all of the effects though once we like actually got into Fantasia with all the monsters, and like they were so well done. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
I wanted, like, all effects to be practical. Like, after watching that, I'm like, screw CGI. I don't care if the mouths don't match with the words. That's creepier, and, like, the effect comes across better than a CGI thing that you just know is a cartoon.
It's amazing how expressive Falcor is. His
Yeah.
eyes
Yeah.
do so much.
He was
Yeah.
expressive. It weirded me out though in the one
The
scene.
turtle, too.
Yeah, in the one scene though, when they get to the ivory tower and they have all those people with multiple faces, and they were like being delivered terrible news, and none of their like if you have 3 faces and none of your faces can have an expression, like I don't understand. They're like, she's dying, we're all going to die, and everyone was just stoic.
The nothingness
German.
was getting to them.
German.
Yeah.
All right,
They're
I feel
German.
like just as a reminder, I'm very German. Like, keep the picking to a minimum.
That's why we're doing it.
Did anybody think when Morla was sneezing all over Atreyu about
Jurassic Park, yes.
Nice.
Yes, definitely.
Speaking of practical effects, the Brachiosaurus sneezing on Alan, Tim, and Lex. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was an homage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I still thought that was very gross. It was
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
And each time he flew out of that tree.
Yeah.
No wonder he almost died several times during the shooting of this movie. He was taking all his own
I
stunts.
know, God.
Poor kid.
Imagine if he'd actually drowned in this
Oh no.
marsh of sadness. So bad.
Oh man. So yeah, I agree. The visual effects are amazing, but I have to say, when Zan's face when she first saw Falcor, it was like, "What is this silvery, slithery dragon dog?
Dragon dog.
Where did
yeah.
he come from?"
Well, yeah, he just
What's
comes
he
out of
doing?
nowhere, too.
He
Just, like,
did.
come help.
And then he's very creepy when you see him in his like little home lair by the Southern Oracle.
It's not even his home, because what are their names? Engiwook and Gurgle or whatever.
Urgle.
They're like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's my Luckdragon. So he's like, they don't even know who
He
he
just
is.
flies around, man. He's just He's just flying.
That's Fantasia for you.
I think he may have been my favorite character.
Yeah.
Falcor.
Yeah.
It's got charisma.
Yeah, and it was just so positive. Like when they're flying to find like the boundaries of Fantasia, and he's like, "Do you know where we're going?" And he was like, "Not at all." Nope. He was so happy.
I definitely would love to have a Luckdragon with me. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about, he says something like, never give up and luck will find you. And I just feel like these are two very different ideas of like working hard or having good luck. Like, it's true. It's like completely different philosophies.
Again, with
Just
the
have it all!
German, you know, like
Never give up.
work ethic.
Keep working.
You only become lucky after you work hard enough.
I thought it was very Oprah-like saying, though.
Oh,
like,
sure.
worldview is like, work hard and things will just happen, but only if you work hard.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
make your
You have
opportunities.
to try. You're right. To make your opportunity.
Gotta have a vision board. You gotta
Yeah.
search for the secret.
Search.
Secret, yeah.
How much Oprah
Visualize
have
it.
you been watching?
I know 3 words.
Uh,
Vision board secret.
but yeah, since we were talking a little bit about Engi, Wook, and Urgle.
Oh my gosh.
Great names.
Okay, so scientist, his telescope literally just has a bunch
That
of
was a
crystals
sweet
hanging out
telescope.
of it.
Yeah.
And a few
And, like, some vials
of
with liquid.
Yeah.
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 You gotta
Magical
crank
place.
it.
Yeah, you got some gears to
Crank
crank.
powered.
I'm not sure if that's focus or zoom, but you crank the crystals, and that sounds weird.
Anyway, seemed believable to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
what you guys
totally.
think.
He's
Wish
a
it would, like,
scientist.
light up or something. I was
Right.
waiting for those crystals to like start glowing.
He's a scientist.
Never
But I like
happens.
that they paired the scientist with the like witch character.
Sure.
The homeopathic witch doctor.
Homeopathic, yeah. Injecting Falcor with some sort of
vitamins.
steroids.
Also, if I was a kid, like she was not very gentle with that, like
know what?
medicine thing. I would have been like, "Oh my god."
Is that what she was doing?
Yeah, she was like giving him a massive shot.
Because
Yeah.
what I thought maybe she was doing this time was collecting blood from him for her potions.
Oh.
Because
Doesn't she say you need your vitamins or something like that?
Yeah.
oh,
As she's
maybe.
doing it, because he's like, oh! He's like, shut up, you need your vitamins.
How does she know?
She did.
Never met him
She's
before.
never met a Luckdragon.
She did a visual inspection of his blood and was like, "Oh, you need vitamins."
Oh, I thought maybe
don't
she
know.
was just like sneaking some scales for her potions.
I don't know.
She could be. That's a different reading. I don't know which one is actually happening.
Ooh, yeah.
I also loved when he
Sounds
came
you guys are
back
right.
after like
Yeah, I don't know.
Atreyu had made it past the first gate. He came back all excited, and she was like, "Great, but next time, don't fall out of your basket."
She's never satisfied.
No, they're just
with
nagging
him.
each other.
Yeah.
Super.
Okay,
Very
but here's
German.
the thing. Question for the group. Does Atreyu really make it through the first gate? I mean, he does technically, but does he pass the challenge?
He looked.
They try to zap him.
He just runs.
He just
He just
runs.
runs.
He did look a little, scared and, unsure, so maybe he just got lucky.
Was-
They just had bad aim.
I mean,
I don't think he actually passes it. I mean, yeah.
What was the challenge? Because I thought it was people who don't realize their worth.
right.
Do they get shot or do they pass? I don't even know.
I'm with Dave because I thought when they were telling him to be confident, I thought that was antithetical to what
Me
they said
too.
the challenge was, which was for somebody who doesn't know their worth. So I'm confused too.
Me
Maybe
too.
he was confident enough to get attacked, but he pussied out at the last minute and ran. So he didn't know that he was strong enough not to run.
But then realized it, and that's what made him survive.
Yes. No.
Well, now I'm very confused.
Yeah. So is it a test of humility or a test for
or confidence. Believe
confidence? Running?
It's
Both.
running.
Or
Just an obstacle course.
vanity?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, yeah. There was never anything to do with confidence. You just had to dodge the eyeball laser.
Oh, God.
I was still really confused about the second gate. First, he ran off after learning about the first gate without thinking through, like, well, let me at least learn what
He's
this
really confident.
apparently.
Or humble.
But for the second one, I still don't really understand what happened. If someone could describe that to me, that would be grand.
Yeah, because it was weird. So the second gate was the magical mirror of
Yep.
your true self or something.
Magic mirror.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
and he sees the kid.
right.
So his true self wasn't him, it was the boy?
Yeah,
I guess because he's part of the boy's imagination.
exactly. Fantasia exists in the boy's mind, or anyone's mind, really.
Our minds now.
Yeah.
So
our
even
minds.
though he still needed it explained to him at the end, inside he knew that Fantasia was the world of human imagination because he had seen the boy.
He was probably equally as
Exactly.
confused as Bastion.
Yeah.
Bastion was like, "What the flip?" Like through the book. And like,
Yeah.
He's like, "No,
There's
it's
no
impossible."
way! He couldn't have seen me.
But then that doesn't explain why he then decided to approach and touch the mirror.
And then just
And
walk
walk
through it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I,
No, none of that is explained.
No. Yeah, I was kind of confused.
Correct.
She was
Well,
like,
it was
oh.
the second gate, right? So he saw his true self and he didn't run away.
yeah, maybe that was
So
it.
then the gate opens up.
He's like, all right,
Yes.
I can live with that.
I guess
So
so.
he actually had the opposite response that he had to the first gate, so it shows a little bit of growth.
Maybe.
Humility check.
I was still confused because I was like, this kid's in like a leather tank top in a blizzard and he's not cold. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a
He's
warrior.
such a
So-
little Mowgli. Just like
I don't know. But yeah, so he gets through the second. But I don't know. Does he have to go back through the same gates to leave and pass the same tests, or is it just kind of like
Oh, I'm
Well,
sure
they all
it's
get
way
destroyed, right? Nothing destroys everything.
Gates go away.
nothing
And he
destroys
calls,
everything?
He calls Falcor and then he gets picked up.
Then they're just riding through space.
Oh my god,
No,
that
because
scene
you're skipping the
cracked
whole
me
scene
up.
with the dog
Oh,
and the murals.
yeah.
the murals,
The wolf.
the wolf, yeah.
And, yeah.
The childlike empress.
And then finally,
No, but the first time when they're flying and they're trying to find the like end of Fantasia, that was like the first flight scene.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
right before
No.
they get separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the scene you're talking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're
That's where the movie paused. And like when it picks back up,
We missed
I
12
guess
seconds or something.
we don't see him flying the first time because he's knocked unconscious.
oh
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, he
Instead of
saves
a
him
jump
from the,
That's
Oh,
true.
sure. okay.
yeah.
the sadness swamp.
but the sadness swamp. But then they go out to find the boundaries of Fantasia, and
After he talks to the Oracle.
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
and then they get caught in the nothingness storm
Right.
and get separated.
And
Falcor
he
goes to
loses
look
the
for the
necklace.
necklace, and Atreyu looks
Has
at
to
the murals.
confront the.
Yeah, he gets a
He runs into the rock guy and
Yeah.
then has to confront the wolf,
Right.
who he kills immediately. After
With a
the
perfect
wolf,
blade that just happened to be sitting right
Yeah.
next to him on the ground.
Yeah.
we had his luck
that
dragon.
wolf was a downer. How did he not? How does the wolf not know that he's talking to Atreyu? I
I
lost
don't
him in
know.
the swamp. I'm looking for this kid named Atreyu.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to kill him, and he's just like, I'm Atreyu.
Surprise!
Yeah, Atreyu didn't even go like, "Oh, good luck, man. I'm gonna go this way."
I think I saw him that way. Over there.
There's some tough missions ahead of us. Whoa.
Yeah, I gotta go comfort my rock friend over there. So good luck in your quest.
Rockbiter. At least
luck
they
in your
circle
quest.
back with the Rockbiter. They introduce so
Yeah.
many characters that don't come around again. Like
That's
the
true.
dad, mostly.
The teeny weenie and
Teeny weeny.
and the night hob and
Yeah.
The bat. The
Also-
stupid
bat.
bat. They always call the bat stupid.
Even the stupid bat.
Yeah.
By the
Did
way,
he have narcolepsy?
He's
yes.
a bat. He's a.
But did you see Teeny Weeny like put what I think was steroids in the snail's mouth right before riding to the Empress? Like way
Oh,
at
I
the
didn't
beginning.
notice.
He was feeding him something.
He like slipped
that's
some
right.
sort of maybe blue liquid in the snail's mouth.
Yeah.
And I thought,
So he's
that's
all roided
He's
up.
like, don't worry, this
Yeah.
snail can really move. And he needs juice.
amphetamines or
His
something.
go-go juice.
Anyway.
Oh.
But I don't know. I don't know why the wolf had one of those long like villain monologues where he's like, "Here's the whole plan,"
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're like, "Why don't you just do your plan now?"
I think they treated the wolf like the shark in Jaws. Probably the practical effect didn't work the way they wanted it, so they could only have him in
Like
the
in
cave.
a cave, like poking his head out a little
and then
bit.
shoot him out like a cannon. And that was about it. And have the scene where he was dead on top of Atreyu. That was it.
That
Still effective. It was scary.
it was so scary. That would have given me so many nightmares. That might give me nightmares now. That was a terrifying, terrifying creature.
Yeah, I'm more scared of stuff like that than I am watching like the new horror movies that come out. Like they could just do something like that and scare me just as bad as some CGI bloodfest. Like those practical like puppet effects were just so like I don't know, creepy. Like they gave me that.
Yeah, the way the wolf's like nose moves.
Oh yeah,
was really good. It was
Little
and
snarl.
like
Yeah.
and all the like gross blood in his mouth.
Yeah,
Just like dude,
not
brush your
happy.
teeth.
Well, it must be very intentional then that they keep cutting back to the little boy reading the book, and it's just the cheesiest, funniest.
Maybe
part
that's
of the
why,
movie.
yeah.
Like it must be.
They gotta reset.
They're not like,
Right.
oh, this kid can't act, but we're gonna give him these lines anyway. They
Maybe
must
it
have been
was
like, we
like-
need to relieve the tension.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to make it aware that like, okay, for all of you kids who are watching at home, like you're also
Remember,
still
it's
safe
just a
in your
movie.
house.
It's just a fake thing. He's reading a book
Book
in
within
a movie.
Yeah. That he's inside of also somehow.
But also, it's all real.
It's all real. It's in your mind. Don't be sad or you'll die in a swamp.
It will never end.
Never ending swamp. Oh god.
Never ending
But it's fine. But it's fine.
swamp.
You can always go get an
sadness.
apple or PB&J.
Yep.
But it's still happening, and you can't get away from it.
We saw him finish the apple. We never saw him eat the other half of that sandwich.
I also don't know. Was he making that sandwich at breakfast?
Oh yeah,
Must
his
have been.
dad was
Or
like,
is he on
"Okay,
a-
kid, get to school.
Don't be late.
Don't be late."
Is he on a-
I didn't help you at all, but don't be late. Oh wait, I unscrewed the jar of
Yeah.
jelly for you.
It was on really tight.
Oh yeah, he was definitely making his own lunch.
But did
Yeah.
he have a breakfast PB&J and a lunch PB&J? Is he on a two
I think
PB&J
for
diet?
breakfast he was eating
The toast,
just
right?
Yeah.
bread with butter.
Butter, yeah. Not even
So
toast,
much butter.
just bread and butter.
And then
Just
lunch
Wonder
was
Bread
with
and
peanut
butter.
and jelly.
Wow, what a sad,
And an apple.
sad
His
childhood.
poor
Yeah.
mom is dead.
We gotta have Moonchild.
Moonchild.
We gotta
I
have an
kind of
apple
want to talk
for
about the
vitamins.
connections there. Did you guys see any like analogies with the characters from the book to his own life? Like I feel like you could make a connection with the rock monster being his dad. The big,
Oh.
tough, strong guy. He's at the end. He's like, I thought my hands were strong. Maybe that's him feeling remorse about not being able to save his wife from dying from
Wow.
whatever reason.
Wow.
That's good.
The
I mean-
horse could represent his mom dying and, having to get over that loss,
I
mean, I
don't
definitely
know.
felt like the swamp of sadness. Like if you let your sadness overcome you,
Yeah.
you can't get out of it. Like
And I feel like the nothing just represents that numbness to it all, just the,
That we
life sucks, get used to it, get up, go to work,
wear your vest.
Yeah.
And at least Atreyu
Drink your raw
had
egg.
a Luckdragon friend once his horse died, but poor Bastion,
Poor Bastion didn't have anybody.
kind of on his own. He's just got like
Yeah.
some taxidermied animals
Atreyu
and
was
some
his
skulls.
Luckdragon.
Or was
Aw.
Coriander his luck dragon?
oh, that's
Oh, you scratched behind
That's
your ear there, Mr.
disturbing.
Coriander.
oh my gosh, that scene.
Yeah, that's like my last note. Is just that was the creepy. Like Falcor was way creepier than I remember. When he was like,
I think he's just as creepy as I remember.
he was like, come scratch behind my ear.
You scratch behind my ear. I can't reach that spot.
Oh, that's it.
He's got such a good laugh, though. So cute. I want one.
Too creepy. Too creepy for me. No, but I think. I mean, definitely the nothingness was his father's influence, like being like, "Oh, keep your feet on the ground." Like, yeah, your
Exactly,
mother died. Get over it.
He's
Like,
trying to
come
kill
on.
his, hopes
Yeah.
and dreams right there at breakfast.
Yeah, that's when we need
Your
to have
feet
a
on the
talk.
ground.
Yeah. I'm out of here. Don't be late for school.
Also, your mom just died and you need to get over it. All right, good talk.
Yeah, did they say how long?
We're out of eggs and OJ.
Pick it up on the way home.
No,
They
they
s-
didn't.
No, I was wondering
No.
how long it had been.
No, but it had to have been recently-ish. I don't know, within a year. I was
Probably,
thinking.
yeah.
That's
It
what I
feels
was
like
guessing.
they were still, adjusting.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, the relationship was so cold. Maybe he was closer to his mom, and the dad never really bonded
Yeah.
with the kid before she died. So he's just like, go to school, keep your feet on the ground.
I mean, I guess this is where I do
I'm a
wish the
dad.
movie ended with
Major
something in reality telling us that Bastion's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's sad also that, okay, now he's, riding. It's not sad, it's fine. It's very epic. He's riding through the streets on a dragon. But, I would like to know that he, in reality, has some framework of love and support.
No. He is unhinged. He's drunk on revenge.
Yeah.
He has
Every
no
kid's
idea what's
second
going on.
wish is to get the bullies. Oh, God.
Yeah,
And I
I wanted
like-
his dad
like-
to come back.
Yeah, it would have been nice for him to be like, I was worried about you,
Right.
and have a moment, or something.
No.
I don't know.
No. And I thought it was funny that as he's flying through the streets, the bullies aren't the only ones affected by this. There's just random people what the hell? They're running for their lives. You are scaring the entire city of, what was it, New York?
I don't know.
Do you
No idea.
what city it was?
No idea.
No, I
Did
have
not
no
look like
idea.
New York in the wide shot when Velcor flew in. It
The
looked like
kids were just
true.
running through the middle of the street. So
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. It's in our imagination. It's whatever city it's our
live in.
Fantasia.
it's our
It's Fantasia City.
He actually doesn't live in a city. He's in a
Mental
asylum.
hospital.
It's not even his dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's his doctor.
All in his head.
It's his hospital worker. Wow, guys.
Yeah. So it's also what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he's
Shutter Island.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's also across with Shutter Island.
Yeah.
I was
Maybe
trying
he's
to
that
the
where we're
same
at?
kid. He grows up to be Leonardo DiCaprio from Shutter Island.
whose wife dies, right?
I think so.
That's how that starts? Man. Rough.
He needs another Luckdragon.
Yeah. His
Yep.
mom died. His wife died. His horse died.
His horse.
This,
Probably by
this
that
movie
time
likes to
Zucker was
remind
dead.
you death is
Everywhere.
everywhere.
but also impermanent.
Yeah. In your head, you can do anything, but in real life, you will die.
In that way, it's like a Grimm's fairy tale.
Yeah,
You know? It's
yeah.
very German.
Exactly.
Y'all couldn't see that, but I rolled my eyes
Yeah.
real
I
hard.
think they could hear that, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty
It
bad.
is audible. That was an audible eye roll.
Do you want to hear some
movie.
box office numbers?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
this movie did. What year did it come out?
84, and
Okay.
keep in mind this was a German production. So
Is there a connection to Spielberg? Because I read that he's the one that actually owns the necklace now.
Really?
So he must have been a fan of the movie.
must have been.
Yeah.
As
It
far
is
as
a
I've
cool
seen,
The
necklace.
one
no.
from the movie.
German
It
productions
was
that,
directed by Wolfgang Peterson, who's gone on to do a lot of big budget movies.
Like what?
Let me pull it up.
I gotta
Let's
know.
see, Outbreak, Air Force One,
Outbreak. I love Outbreak.
Poseidon, Troy, A Perfect Storm.
I love Outbreak.
I like Outbreak too. I like A Perfect Storm also.
Any other Dustin Hoffman movies?
yeah. Yeah, how did
It had a budget. Hold on. A
Can we-
budget of $27 million, which I feel like is a lot back then.
that is.
Yeah.
Looks like it though. It looks like a high budget movie at the time.
You guys want to take a guess at what it made? We'll just go worldwide total. Because, like I said, this was a German movie, so I think it was more popular in Germany than it was here.
when it first came out?
I'll
Yeah.
say 80 million worldwide.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
exactly what I was thinking.
Ooh, well, you got to go either above
I'll say-
or below.
I'll get 81.
Ooh, Price
I'm
of
gonna
Right
go
rolls.
83.
Oh!
No idea.
Willa?
That was
I was gonna
vicious.
say like 35.
Okay, fair.
No, actually, 83 was the closest because it earned 100 million.
Wow.
worldwide. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was like
Thank you.
apparently it was like the biggest thing in the world in Germany. Like it was the first movie to get. They said 5 million people went and saw it in Germany. So
Wow.
And that's probably
That's
just
where it's
like
made its money.
West Germany.
this was before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
So maybe there was another connection of the Berlin Wall. Maybe that was the thing too.
A theme?
The nothing spreading.
Oh. So it's a communist capitalist
Yeah.
overtones.
Man, I'm gonna have to rethink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just got political.
I know. It got too deep.
Can we get deeper than the swamp of sadness?
I know, really.
The Swamp of Sadness is the
I don't
Soviet
know.
Union.
The Desert of Shattered Hope was also a really great spot.
Yeah.
Silver Mountains, Desert of what is it?
Shattered Hope.
Shattered Hope.
The Desert of Shattered Hope.
Wow.
I feel like that could be a good late night bar.
The Desert of Shattered Hope.
I'd have a drink.
Do you guys
My
want to
memoir.
talk about what character you related to the most in the movie?
Ooh.
Sure.
Anybody have any in mind?
I definitely, as a kid watching it, of course, it was Bastion and Atreyu. Mm-hmm. Now, I think I'm more Falcor.
I was thinking Falcor.
It's like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, just like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll be fine.
He does say that at one point. He's like, "It's gonna be fine."
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know who I would be. This is a really hard question. I don't know if I really identified with any of them.
There weren't many to choose from.
Unfortunately, I'm thinking like Engellicker or whatever. The
I
scientist.
thought about him. Yeah, the scientist guy.
Yeah. Just like
so he's being nagged by your wife.
sitting on the sidelines watching other people do cool stuff. Getting nagged. Drawing drawings that no one's ever going to see. I don't know. What about you, Will?
I mean,
The
yeah,
bullies.
all 3 bullies. Yeah, definitely as a kid. I read a lot as a kid, so like it just made so much sense to me. Like, yeah, this makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely related to Bastion
I
just
hang out
in that
in an
way,
attic.
really. I probably just relate most to the sickly little girl who shows up at the end.
Yep.
Childlike
thinking.
Empress. You're childlike.
Needs
And
a
an
man
empress.
to give her a name.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah,
Empress
I can't really,
Moonchild?
I'm not really sure. I did also relate very much to Atreyu because he shouts so much. I love to yell.
I loved Atreyu though. Just
He's great. He yells every line. He's just shouting the
He
whole
reminded
time.
me of the actress who plays Eleven from
Oh, yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Well, but she's a good actress. She has
No,
talent.
I would say,
All right.
unlike Bastion, Atreyu's performance is almost flawless.
Yeah.
Really good.
It really is good.
Yeah, he's
for,
great.
Yeah.
And that little girl is amazing at the end. She's like
Yeah.
crying
Yeah.
and she's so
Yeah.
intense. And
Her
like,
tears are impressive.
she's really good.
Yeah, I saw
Moonchild.
something. They'd found her. She was at like a acting school and like was just blowing everyone away. And so they're like, "Want to be in this German movie?"
There should have been more women characters now I think of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
There were like none.
There were 2.
Yeah, there was
There was Urgel.
who was like a nagging wife.
Wench.
Yeah.
Wench. They literally call
Yeah.
it wench. And then we got the
To the winch, wench.
Sphinxes with the big boobs.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
count,
We
do
didn't
we
talk
count
about
them as
the
women? They're
Sphinxes.
half.
Really?
Yeah. Paul did rewind for that one.
Well, that was my favorite part.
Yeah,
And
then
then
the Empress.
the Empress,
Empress.
who's barely in it. She just mentioned the whole
There
time.
were
And
some
then,
And who's her
women
spokesman?
in the,
I
uh,
like
well, I
him.
guess the depressed turtle was kind of a.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a woman.
Did anybody think that might be the woman that did the voice of E.T.?
Ooh.
Or
I gotta look that voice.
The
did sound familiar.
Exorcist?
I'm gonna look it
I
up.
also
What, the
love that
turtle?
every single
Yeah,
movie
Morla.
that has been mentioned, except for The Princess Bride, I have not seen. I'm like, I don't know.
Sounds right to
Did you say
me.
who you
Sure.
relate to?
No, I didn't. But I think the only person I could relate to, I don't remember his name, but the like assistant to the Empress, the one who
Sure.
like calls for Atreyu.
The only black character?
Oh yeah, I was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
him, especially because I feel like he would have had my gut reaction, which was like, "Oh, you're a child,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Wait, no, come back, come back." I'm just
We
kidding.
need
I
you.
was kidding. We need you.
Yeah,
We're
Had a
looking
good
for
role.
Atreyu the warrior, not Atreyu the child.
I am the only Atreyu of the
The planes.
Plains people.
I
Or
can always
apparently
go
all
back.
they do is hunt buffalo.
Hunt
'Cause
the
he was like,
purple
fine,
buffalo.
I'll go back and
Buffalo.
like hunt purple buffalo then.
Yeah. I also want to know how they came up with that name, if he's the only one.
Yeah.
Like,
Why need a name? You're the only one.
was Atreyu his grandfather? Was it a family name? I don't know. Did they just make it up? I don't know.
So they don't, in IMDb, they don't have the listing of who did that voice. But the same guy did the voices for the Rockbiter, Falcor, Gamork, and the
Wow.
narrator at the end.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That was
There
all the
one
same guy.
sentence of narrator at the very
Yeah, I know, that
end.
was really
That was
weird.
weird.
Out of nowhere, a narrator.
Yeah.
And
you have
they
to at
was
least
happily
bookend
ever
it,
after.
beginning and end. Come on.
No, the beginning just opened
Wolfgang
up
Peterson.
weirdly.
Yeah.
Just
That
like,
was-
yeah,
After that really long intro.
Yes.
the musical intro.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Giorgio Moroder?
No.
He's another German. He is highly influential in like techno music. Like people like credit him as being like the guy that started the whole techno thing. Like he kind of invented the click beat that is used in everything now. But he did the music for this.
Well, it was very 80s.
It was.
But
Thought he did a good job.
the
It was
music
like,
on the flying scenes. Those were good.
for the most part, it supplemented what was happening on screen, but it didn't like take over. You know, didn't like take all the attention, except for one of those flying scenes, the flying montage where they're flying over
For everything.
It's a
everything.
little heavy-handed.
Yeah,
Mountains. Like
crystal desert.
crystals. Yeah. Ocean.
Well, I found the voice of Morla was Pam Hyatt. I don't really know. She's done some other voices, but E.T. isn't mentioned in the top few, so don't think it's
Wow.
the same.
IMDb, get your shit together. She's
I
not
found
on
it.
here. On IMDb?
On Wikipedia.
Ah. I also have that tab up.
But way to go, Pam. Your sneezing was hilarious.
It was
I liked
the
her. I
first
liked
time
the,
that's-
you know.
that happened. That was funny.
The cynic.
She really was. Not that it matters,
Yeah.
but yes, I do.
Not that it matters, but I don't give a fuck
Not
about
that it
anything.
matters. But... And when he was like, "There's a nothingness coming," she was like, "Well, at least that's better."
Better than this.
Better than disturbing my 10,000 year slumber.
And I can relate.
Allergic.
I was gonna say that's just staged.
That was a weird movie. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, would you recommend it to a friend?
I don't know if I would. Well, I feel like if I had to recommend an 80s movie that's like that, I would go Princess Bride.
Sure.
Like that would, like now I want to go home and watch Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Well, Princess Bride is actually like a comedy.
Yeah.
This is not.
That's true.
This is not meant to be
But it
funny.
had the same,
Yeah.
yeah.
The kind of whimsical, like,
And there was a journey. They
Yeah.
had a lot of the same things like we talked about with like the sinking and the...
Yeah, I think
Older couple.
The Princess Bride is earnest enough to take the place of this movie, you know.
it's also a reading of a book.
Right.
Yeah.
Story within a story.
And a little boy that it like is being read or reading.
At least
Yeah.
we know that in A Princess Bride, he has a family structure
True.
that is
He's
caring
got
for
a
him.
loving mother
Very
and
true.
grandfather.
Yep.
Who knows about the dad, though? Maybe it's the dad from...
It's his other family.
Yeah, he's got two families.
No, no.
I agree that that's the difference, that has kind of the payoff of the grandfather.
Yeah, and he's
As
in
you-
reality.
As you wish.
Yeah.
As you wish.
But I mean, it was good. I guess I would recommend it. If someone was looking for like a weird fantasy 80s movie that centers around a book.
That traumatized every child in the United States.
I would recommend this.
I realized that this probably influenced my affection for fantasy role-playing games. As we played Dungeons and Dragons now, it reminded me a lot of stuff like that. Just the basic
Your next character's
quest,
named
weird,
Teeny
being
Weeny.
even feeding a snail, gotta feed my snail, make it go fast. That's so RPG stuff.
I know. That's funny.
Gotta feed my snail. I never thought I'd hear that.
My racing snail.
Before we get going, does anyone need to feed their animals?
Snail. Anyone have any extra snail food?
I like how the rock guy was like, "Everyone get on my back. I'll be faster."
And the guy's like,
You're like,
yeah,
no,
but
I'm a racing snail. Also, I very much thought that rock man was just rolling like a rock. I did not realize it was like a rock motorcycle.
bike.
Yeah.
Did not understand that until way later in that scene. I
Yeah.
was like, what is he doing? He's just wheeling a rock around.
And for loving the taste of that limestone rock, he was very messy. He's
Oh
a
my
very
God.
messy
Yeah,
man.
and he doesn't realize that those rock crumbs can kill people.
Yeah.
Jeez, he almost killed the night hob.
And teeny weeny.
Teeny weeny. Yeah, just his rock crumbs.
I felt like the crumbs were bigger than the piece of rock you picked up.
They were giant crumbs. Although if you think about it, a rock's gonna probably break into big pieces.
Yeah, but if he eats a lot of rocks, he should know.
You should eat it better.
I
Use
think-
I mean, it
chopsticks.
sounds like he hadn't eaten any rocks in a long time, so he's probably
That's
famished. Just
That's true.
gobbling his food down. I've seen Larry do it.
Yep.
He's a giant
I've seen the
mess.
crumbs too.
Yeah.
Apparently, the rocks were the first thing to go, where they were really valued.
Yeah.
Or they were the only source of food. I thought the use of perspective was actually pretty good in this movie. You mentioned the size of the rocks, but I thought they did a good job before the Lord of the Rings movie ever did it or anything. Putting
Yeah,
Atreyu
different
in the
size.
frame with the smaller characters
Yeah.
and stuff. Especially in the scene with the telescope.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool because the telescope would look the right size depending on which character looked into it. Hard to do. Peter Jackson later uses it to great effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Inspired definitely by this movie.
Well, I like that it acknowledged that it was inspired by Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So it kind
They
of
name check it in the beginning.
ties back around.
Oh, yeah.
They
Wait, what
name
do you
check
mean?
it?
It's like one of the...
It's one of the books
One of,
he says
books
he
one of
owns.
those
Oh.
168 books that he owns. He's like, I've read Lord of the
The
Rings.
Jungle Book. And what else?
Robinson
Crusoe.
Crusoe.
Yeah.
Which I thought was random.
I started reading Robinson Crusoe when I was about Bastian's age. I couldn't get through it. That book is huge.
I couldn't either.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
I don't believe him. He's full of it.
Yeah. I don't know. He read that entire book in one day.
Yeah.
By candlelight.
By candlelight. When there's a severe storm going on, the windows are breaking with limbs flying in.
I also love...
There's a tornado outside. He's like, I gotta finish
There
this
was-
book.
And at one point, the windows opened, and the wind was so strong that it threw the papers everywhere. Yet the candles remained
Yep,
lit.
the
Like
candles.
that is so not accurate.
And did you notice how they
It's
had melted
magical.
down? They showed the passage of time because,
Yeah.
when he lights them, they're this big, and then they're like little
Yeah.
puddles of wax at the end.
All night, he read
Very
all
consistent.
night. Who knows if people were looking for him?
No. They
No.
weren't.
I don't know. It's a really sad depiction of his life because he doesn't really have a caretaker. His sole sources of nutrition are Wonder Bread,
And an apple.
butter, an apple for vitamins, peanut butter and jelly. That's it. That's all he's got, and he's just getting picked on and bullied all day, and drawing horse unicorns.
But
In
books.
his math book.
Books are your escape.
Yeah.
They are your
Yes.
friend.
It's a very anti-math theme. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of gives the message that, you know what, screw math, just read.
Just
Blow it off.
Literature
Blow off
wins.
your math test, read a book. It's better.
You can't imagine a math problem.
I know, and there's
That's a
a
good
train
point.
coming from Philadelphia.
If the Luckdragon is traveling
That's
at
right.
Yeah, who cares about trains when you can imagine a Luckdragon?
I did like that was his first wish.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I would say, so I would say,
Should I bring my mom back? No.
no. Yeah.
Luckdragon, baby.
It wasn't just the ride on Falcor that was his wish, though. It was to put Fantasia back together so
Yeah.
he could ride across the whole countryside of Fantasia. So
But-
it was not selfish.
Still no mom. Still
No,
no wish from
yeah.
mother.
No, we never saw her again.
Well, they had to be realistic wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Again.
bring an
I guess so.
imaginary horse back, but
Like
you can't
ride a
That
luck
is final.
dragon. Make it realistic. And then chase bullies in real life with it.
All right.
Down alleyways
Fair point. Fair point.
until they themselves get in the trash. Ha ha ha.
Do unto others.
Revenge is the main theme.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is teaching kids about self-worth, and bravery, confidence, and power of imagination
And revenge.
and revenge. Never give up
Using
because
your
it'll bring you good luck.
using your desire for revenge to fuel.
Never be sad.
you through, yeah.
Don't be sad.
Or you'll
Just
die.
Kill
don't
you.
let sadness drag you down.
Right,
I guess
there
would be
you
Yeah.
the metaphor.
Keep going.
But I will say, I think as a child, the effects and the story was really intriguing and fascinating. All the other stuff, like, it wouldn't be above my head.
Exactly, me too.
No
Like,
idea. I didn't
catching
even
all, like,
get
these
the thing
themes,
of,
yeah.
you're an audience watching a story, being part of the story, and you're part of that story.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh.
I know it's really trippy, especially when Atreyu finds the cave paintings of his existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
that
stuff
was
that
weird.
had just happened. So-
Yeah,
And
I
that
guess
was
not cave
about
paintings,
to
but, like,
happen.
Yeah.
whatever that area was.
That's right.
Also
Yeah.
weird.
So he's like, "What is happening?"
Well, I think that's
How do they
kind of
know?
alluding to the fact that maybe it was prophesized, but it's also
Right.
more playing into the meta text of
Right.
this is a story that's already been written or that somebody's viewing from the outside.
What are some other stories within a story? Princess Bride.
Princess
obviously.
Bride.
Covered that.
Inception.
I don't know.
I think adaptation's a good example.
Oh, yeah,
of that. You
adaptation.
mentioned it earlier.
I don't know. It's not really a story within a story, but like The Matrix or Being John Malkovich.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Kinda.
That they're both being viewed from the outside.
Because there's like,
and there's like
well, the Matrix has a fantasy
different
world
worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
that you can enter and exit.
I guess
Avatar,
Avatar. I guess a lot of the old Greek
Ready
stories.
Player One.
Yeah.
The old Greek stories like start off with like setting the scene of like the bard is like calling on the muses, and so you're kind of watching an audience
Like in
be told a
Iliad
story.
or Odyssey,
being
told by the
Right.
the orator.
That's all I got.
Well,
Wizard of Oz.
That's why this
kind of
is
like it's a
groundbreaking.
dream, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a book, but it's a
Yeah.
a dream within a story.
It's an
This one was
Inception.
especially meta, like
yeah.
where they realize
Like,
it.
You.
We're
you
characters.
specifically.
In the
You
book,
bastard.
even the wolf was like, "We're characters in a book, and I'm going along with it because I want to be destroyed," or I don't know.
That kind of goes with the Matrix thing, though, because some
Yeah.
people realize, like
Right.
Joey Pants is like, oh, I know the steak isn't real, but, I'm going to eat it anyway.
Yeah.
It's juicy. It's
It's
delicious.
so juicy.
Put some blood on my teeth.
Give me the red pill.
That's right. Like this is like jazz, and The Princess Bride is like, I don't know, it's like pop music. It's like which
Yeah.
one are you gonna pick? It's like, what are you in the mood for? Do you want your mind to be blown, or do you, want to listen to jokes about peanuts?
I do agree that this is going for something with the design elements of like the multiple faces of the characters and like the giant heads and something.
I really liked all that this
It's
time
like-
around.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Too short.
inspired by psychedelic drugs, but it's got something going on.
They're definitely, yeah.
It is
For
a
Doesn't
that
freak
time,
you
for
out.
1984, just, you know, it was such like a straight-laced time to see, you know, a movie trying to be that weird, you know? Like nowadays it's not weird at all, but 1984 you're like, whoa, what are these things?
Made me think of like Alice in Wonderland. though.
Yeah.
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 Especially
I
like
was gonna say that,
the
too.
teeny weeny kind of remind me of Mad Hatter and
Like the big heads and the.
Which is
the big
a
heads
story
are so
within a
cool.
story.
There's a lot of wordplay
True.
early. Oh, that's true. And there's a lot of wordplay that's similar to Alice in Wonderland, where like the nothingness is taking over everything.
Yeah.
Like, what did you see? Nothing. Like the lake.
Right.
It didn't turn into an empty lake. It was just nothing.
Is it a hole? A hole would be something. It was
Yeah.
nothing. I love that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Great.
Cool.
Well,
Any
think
final
that's
thoughts
great.
on the movie? Like it? I liked it.
Summation.
I liked it. And I want to see more practical effects. I don't care if it looks exactly like it looked in 1984. I want to see those effects back in use.
I know.
It was just so cool. And you could just tell the work that went into it. Like the actual, you know, someone had to build that and design that and make it move.
Yeah,
That seems more
probably-
impressive to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's really hard to design that digitally, but like, I don't know.
And they worked within their constraints. Like, you know, the
Yeah.
wolf didn't look good outside of that
Imagine
cave.
describing what they were going to do, you know, in those times. Like, oh, you're going to make a rock monster and a flying Luckdragon? Yeah, okay. You know, like, where would you even begin? Just imagining the producers being like, how the hell do you make a Luckdragon?
It's true. Even
Perfectly.
as detailed as the novel might have been, the design, the
Making
like
it
creature
actual
design
come to
and
life.
stuff of this
Yeah.
must have been intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That snail looked really good for being a large snail. I was impressed by the snail. It ate. Like, he had his whole mouth. And, like, he was feeding it, you know?
Yeah.
So someone was in there, like, with their hands probably going...
So
I'm
cute.
making a gesture with my hands like a mouth.
Yeah, I
And
didn't,
going meep, 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 meep.
I didn't know if
Sound
you,
a snail makes.
I didn't know if you meant it looked good, like aesthetically or realistically or somehow sexually.
He
All
wanted
the
to
above.
he wanted to make that escargot.
Ooh, nice one.
I get it.
Yeah. No,
It's a hot-ass snail.
That's our go-go juice. Speedy.
I guess I wouldn't want to see it again anytime soon, but I definitely
I could
want
seriously
to read
watch
the
it
book.
again right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of want to
could.
rewatch it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I might put it on later tonight, to be honest.
I will
Sure,
say
yeah.
it would be fun to watch it again and like talk during it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That, like, it
There
would-
were a lot of moments where I'm like holding my tongue.
Yeah.
I want to make a joke or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
fun time.
Very good.
Do you guys want to talk about anything you've been watching or listening to, podcast wise, music wise?
Any plugs?
Any recommendations for our listeners?
Let's see. You want to go first?
Movies, TV, music, podcast, anything?
Books are accepted.
Books
Not
are
encouraged.
Okay, I'll do not encouraged. Well, then I'm going to start with a book. I just got, but I haven't yet opened up a book about sand, which is, I know, really weird.
One grain of sand.
One grain of sand.
It's about like sand as a material, but it goes into like all different types of what sand is used for, like concrete, glass, like everything else.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have so I should say that I work at a glass museum, but 3 of my colleagues have just read it and like have been raving about it. So that's exciting. But also podcast wise, my favorite podcast, other than this one, of course, has just the last season, or the most recent season just came out this week, which is My Dad Wrote a Porno. And if you have not watched or listened to this podcast, you should. So that is what I will
That's the
be-
second time someone's recommended that on here, I believe.
Who is the first person? Because if it was Amelia, You're welcome.
It probably was, and
Probably
she
was. I
probably
think it
learned
was.
about it through
I
you.
told her
We'll have to go back.
listen to it, and then she listened to like the entire like 6 seasons that were
Wow.
out like within a week, which was impressive.
Yeah, I watched the HBO special. There was a 1 hour.
Yes, so
I
funny.
haven't listened to an audio version, but very funny.
Yeah, they're good.
Cool, Dave.
I don't. I listen to a lot of very nerdy podcasts.
The
And
nerdier, the better.
Well, what's your favorite movie that
So
you've seen
I really, my favorite movie I've seen, I don't even know.
recently?
I'm really want to see Hobbs and Shaw, the the Fast
I
and
kind of do
Furious
too,
spin-off.
and I've only seen one Fast and Furious movie. It was
Yeah.
the first one. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I could watch that. The Rock and
Yeah.
Jason Statham. That just looks
I
fun.
mean, so that's my target. I want to see that
Nice.
soon. Yeah,
You've been listening
like
to what's that movie podcast?
yeah. I've been listening to a movie podcast a lot.
It's called Pop Culture Intervention.
Yes, and no, I've never listened to this. No, I've been listening to How Did This Get Made, where a few
Yes.
comedians just dissect really terrible movies, and my list of movies to watch has grown exponentially.
Well, they just did Hobbs and Shaw on that.
Yeah, they just
Did
did
they
Hobbs and
really?
Shaw,
Yeah.
and
Is
they
it bad?
said
I thought that movie, like, got
It
good
sounds like it
reviews.
just is over the top.
They
Oh.
loved it.
They loved it. They loved it. But I really want to watch Zardoz, which is
I've seen that. It's weird.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's like Sean Connery.
Sean Connery in like
I don't know. I've been described
Daisy
as
Dukes. I don't know. Like maybe
I've
just
been
a
it's been
loincloth.
described as like a red diaper.
Yeah,
the whole movie.
like, and like
Just-
a bandolier and these boots that go up to his thighs. like,
Nice.
Can't
and
wait.
there's a giant head that spits guns. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hobbs and
Nice.
Shaw and Zardoz.
Zardoz.
Those are next on my list.
Nice. We went to Philly last weekend and saw one of my favorite bands, Dirty Projectors. So if you haven't,
Oh, they're so good.
you don't know them, you could look them up. They're just, I guess, like art rock. It's just a lot of really cool rhythms and fun lyrics, and it's like poetry. And I just loved it. It was a great show. And I'd never really spent any time in Philly, so that
Philly's
was just like to make a plug for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
We
I
were there
can
for
piggyback
just
on
a
that, I
couple
was just in
days.
Philly also a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago for actually a live podcast recording. So plug that. Raised by TV, Lauren Lapkus, John Gabris.
Cool.
I went to the live recording of a show in Philadelphia, so if you listen to that one, you could probably hear me laughing.
Yeah, we'll listen for it.
If you listen to it and you hear the guy who tries to explain why a joke is funny, and then all three of the panel get up and berate him, he was standing right next to me when he did it. Like, so it felt like Paul F. Tompkins, John Gabris, and Lauren Lapkus were yelling at me because he was right next to me, and I don't think they knew who specifically said it, so they were just kind of yelling in our general direction. Like, oh my god, I can't believe you thought we didn't get that. It was really funny. But I'll also plug. So you said, "How did this get made?" There's another podcast called "How Did This Get Played" for all you video gamers like me. They take really bad video games and dissect that. So if you're into that sort of thing, check that out. Other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Well, I'm going to take a cue from Willa and suggest something we learned about on our trip to Philadelphia. The Mummer Parade.
Oh, God.
what?
If you guys have never heard of mummery or mummers,
Just Google it.
or
It's
mumming?
weird.
I hope I'm speaking
Mum's the
about this
word.
correctly, but we found a video on YouTube of a mummery parade in Philadelphia. Apparently, it's a conservative culture that has one day a year that they kind of get dressed in glittery costumes and play 100 saxophones.
I don't know. We were looking it up. It was funny because when we
It cannot be described
our
in words.
Airbnb was
Okay.
just around the corner from the Museum of Mummery, and we were like, "What the flip is that?" So we like Google mummery, and it's like the act of mumming, and we are like, "What?"
That's a horrible
we
definition.
just went on this weird cycle of just it being defined more and more by the word mum and mummery.
So we needed a
Mum's the word.
video
Weird.
to really understand it.
Well, our host did tell us that it has like a a lot of racist background, but they're trying to bring it back as not racist anymore.
wow.
Anyway, it's just strange.
Well, it led us on a YouTube wormhole
Yeah.
to other countries and stuff where they do similar parades. And actually, when I saw the characters in the Neverending Story with the giant heads and the multiple faces, it made me think of these parades because they actually like make these big paper mache masks and stuff. So maybe if you start
If you just wanna watch some good
YouTubing
things on
mummery,
YouTube.
it'll lead you into this deep dive of crazy marching band parades.
I 100% am gonna go home and Google that.
Great.
When you first said mummery parade, I just imagined a parade of mummies.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we theorized the same thing.
That's kind of what we thought that the museum was going to be. We didn't go.
Like a mummification museum.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, there's
Those are always the best part of the museum. Like seeing the old sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarcophagus.
Yeah. What is the
If you
plural?
haven't, next time you go to Philly, I have not. I don't think I can go because I'm too much of a wimp and I get queasy. But the Mutter Museum, which is in Philly, have you all heard of this? Oh, interesting.
Oh, I walked by it actually.
Yeah, it's like
I
this
remember the name.
crazy museum that has a lot of, oh my god, it's like a lot of human remains and other like abnormalities and such that were like used for scientific study and a bunch of other stuff. But it's nutty. So speaking of mummies, check out the Mutter
loves you.
Museum.
Dave made a
All right,
friend.
nice,
Maxine is
guys.
on.
The
Dave's
cat.
Check out Philly. I guess that's the
Yeah.
Go to Philadelphia.
not. I really hadn't been there as a grown up, and we had a great time.
Me neither.
I've
It was
never
my
been
first time.
until like a few weeks or a few months ago. It was awesome.
Let's all go.
And I'll
Done.
plug
do
the
it.
town of Keuka, New York. It's lovely.
I think Comedy Bang Bang's coming to Philadelphia in a couple months, guys.
your tickets.
Okay, well, if no one has any other words to say about Neverending Story, then I guess we'll wrap it up. You
Find us online.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Where?
having.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Anywhere.
Watch
First
the
time
movie.
guest, we'll have to have you back soon. Because
Yeah.
Zan has seen no movies.
I've seen no movie. If you want to talk like old musicals, I got you covered. But otherwise, no.
Well, thanks for being here,
Okay.
guys. We had a
Yeah,
lot of
thanks
fun.
for coming.
Fun.
Thanks for watching a weird movie with us.
Thanks. That was fun.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Cool. You can find us online at PCIpodcast.com or on Facebook, Twitter at PCI Podcast. We're on Instagram. Follow us, tweet us, send us a message. Tell us how traumatized you were by Neverending Story as a Ute. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, rate and review us on iTunes and Apple Podcasts.
Do it.
Tell your friends.
Okay, bye.
Bye.